Living ain't easy, but it's necessary. I be getting weary, cause shit be getting scary. But sit back, relax, and don't you dare worry, cause I be hitting wrongs with a righteous fury. Yes, sir, see, I am the only one. My name is Josh Dunn, gonna have some fun telling the truths y'all can't handle. I might raise a scandal as I dismantle the fake, make them quake and make them shake. I make you bend, but never will I make you break. Just chill, yo, and don't be frightened. Open that closed mind, it's time to get enlightened.
Welcome, folks, to Gimpin' Ain't Easy. I used to say 'cause it ain't, but I'm trying to make it easier now. Episode number 19. This week, we're brought to you by our usual sponsors. Of course, Cafe Sempoal, where you can meet a wide assortment of characters, especially me, and I haven't been sleeping, so I'm even more of a character than I usually am. We're also brought to you this week, once again, as always, by Elsie's Vintage Clothing. Hey, even if your life isn't going great, or going terrible, you can still look like gold doing it. For $1 million, you can look like $1 million bucks. We're also brought to you this week, once again as always, by the Black Market. I promise you, you will not go to jail for shopping at this Black Market. And we're brought to you once again, as always this week, by Charlie's Club, where most shots are $2.75 on Tuesdays. So even if you make some real bad choices, you won't go broke making them. Well, folks, I've had a bit of a change of heart, having a really hard time in my insomnia, and I realized that I've been, going against the grain in a way that just isn't helpful, and I need to realize that we're all human beings, and we're all sort of in the struggle together. And hey, we all, including me, make some bad choices sometimes, but we're all capable of making wonderful choices, and that's why I'd like to announce that Gimpin' can be easier than it has been. I think I gotta believe that. So that's it for that, and I'd like to welcome our guest this evening. He is, I don't know how he'd like to be introduced. I've enjoyed having him up here. It's Kyle McKenna, folks. How you doing, Kyle?
Not bad, Josh. What's good, man?
What's good? Just busting my way through the struggle, trying to see that brighter light,
That's what it's about, man.
How about yourself?
It's doing good, man. Laying back, taking it as it comes. It's nice to be back up at Shea Pimp with the boy.
Yeah.
Just watching baseball here, man.
Oh yeah, I know. Too bad it wasn't ball season. I'm still. Well, I'm wearing my colors.
Repping for the Jays.
Yeah. Who I think are gonna have a good season this year.
They still got Gibby?
They do not.
They do not have Gibby.
That has been This fella is happy to work with young kids, and I think I want to see a lot of these young kids up, and I have tremendous hope for the future that way.
Good stuff, man.
So you drive bus, and I know you've worked at the liquor store before.
Yeah, that's correct.
But that ain't what I really want to talk about too much, unless is there things you want to talk about?
You don't want to talk about that bus life? No, man.
If you do, I do. But
yeah, we can leave that at the door.
Yeah, I don't think. And I know that because this is how I know you, and I've always been complimentary. And I remember one time you told me, "Don't blow smoke up your ass," but it wasn't about that because I'm so critical, right? So I'm happy that you guys are putting out another album again. I think I've only heard a bit of it, but what was the motivation behind that? What gave you the drive to get back into it?
I mean, it'd been a long time off. Just really missed doing music. Was hanging out, kicking it with the boy Bashinsky. He's always working on some new stuff, right? So he played some of the beats he was producing, and it just clicked. It's like, this is some fire stuff, so why not do it again? No pressure now. Just doing it more for the fun and the love of it. So just really looking forward to the product. I think people are really going to like it.
And do you think it's a better product to your taste? Or?
Well, I think now I think I'm writing better than I was in the past. I think that's, just the general evolution of rhyming. If you keep writing, you're always going to get better, right? So at this point now, I feel like, I'm at a better stage. I'm not being as wordy. I'm trying to make it a little more concise, a little more to the point. So I think that's going to open the doors up to a wider range of listeners. It's going to make it easier to follow what I'm trying to say than in the past. So that feels good from my perspective. I mean, the music is on a whole other level as well. Still like that classic Caravan, a lot of instrumental or instrumentation and that sort of thing. But yeah, man, I think it's going to be our best work to date.
Yeah, that's my sense too. And what I really dig about you guys was that it's always been real music, and it seems like it's getting better. So that's what I'm really really big on.
Well, yeah, man, it gives it a whole different dimension when you've got a legitimate guitar playing, a legitimate saxophone instead of always samples. Now, there's nothing wrong with a good sample, but when we can kind of we take it and mix it together, right? So we'll have a dope sample lying underneath, but over top of it, we're taking melodies and recreating them. We're putting new melodies over top of it. So I think it gives it a nice, kind of like a thicker feel to the music.
Yeah, that's just real music, man. And I'm gonna ask you this one because I asked everybody. How did you form? Like, how did you come up? What was your childhood like?
My childhood? My childhood was, man, it was a pretty easy childhood. I can't even lie.
It was a good one?
Yeah, it was good, man. I mean, we didn't have any real problems. A suburban lifestyle, right? I grew up outside the city, so for me, it was just when I started listening to rap music, I don't know, there was just something about it. It felt like a voice for people that looked like me that I wasn't hearing in any other music. Like the stuff that would be on C100 or Q104 when I was a kid didn't really resonate with me. I started listening to rap music and it was just kind of like, oh, okay, there's some new stuff coming out that kind of, I guess, speaks to me in a way.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, I wasn't running around slinging drugs or shooting guns or anything like that. But I mean, I guess it was maybe the raw emotion or the aggressive nature of it. Maybe why somebody would like metal music or something like that. It just kind of was like, yeah, there's that outlet.
Yeah.
To let out these frustrations or whatever that I was dealing with. So.
Yeah. And it's kind of ironic in a way, because I'm a white dude, but I grew up in the predominantly black inner city community, and that's how rap ended up resonating for me too, because I was wanting to fit in, right? And
okay.
And I wasn't doing any of that, slanging drugs or guns or
right.
nothing like that.
That's
but,
a good
but,
thing.
but it was going on around me, right?
Right. So you were familiar with it.
So as a young person, I did think it was cool.
Well, yeah, for sure, man.
Because I didn't know any better, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then just something, and certainly not all rap is about that, but I know, for the most part, the stuff that resonates for me was probably from about 91 to, I don't know, I change this sometimes, but say 96. It doesn't need to be gangster, but there's something about, I talked with Joe about Love and Easy E, and he did too even, but he was like, I don't know, I don't know that that's necessarily a great message, but that's what resonated with me, fitting in. And I want to ask, what are the, because I'm not that familiar with in town local bands right now, but do you find a race thing like in terms of not a race thing, but like for bands being successful? Do you think that has anything to do with it in Halifax? Or?
I mean, I could say yeah, I could say no. I mean, from my experience, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. At the same time, even in saying that, it could alienate me from an audience because this is a predominantly white city. So if I start going around saying it's all because of race that these people are getting famous or whatever, or not getting famous, but getting at least a little bit of play and getting some
work,
shows and stuff, getting the work, then that's going to make it harder for us to do that as well. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a tough one, man.
I know. I threw that in there. Yeah. Like, what do you like? I think maybe, it like, well, I'll relate it to myself. Like, being disabled like plays a role in things in perception, but it doesn't have to play as big a role as I think or had previously thought it did.
Okay,
I'm still me. I'm a human being, right? So
that's it.
That's the way I look at it, and it's just like it is like because like me and you were like both minorities. We're like different type minorities, right? So the set of challenges is and just experiences is just different, right?
Well, that's true for sure. I mean, and like it could almost be said that it would be expected of me as a black man to be a rapper, but if you would have a white guy that's rapping as well, it's almost different because they're not quote unquote supposed to be able to do that kind of shit, which is stupid because anybody that wants to put time into their craft is gonna hone it and make it better, and they're gonna produce quality stuff. But yeah, like I kind of ran on there. I lost my train of thought.
Oh no, that was perfect, man. Even me, like I've got a little theme song. I'm gonna have a new one soon for number 20. We'll say.
Okay.
But I think I don't claim to be a rapper, right? But I think it's not bad for just a guy on a beat, So. But I don't claim to be a professional. It was mostly just to give it some flavor and because I like rap. So
well, I mean, why not try, right?
Yeah, exactly.
No harm in it.
Yeah, like I think you could host a podcast too if you wanted to.
Okay.
Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Have topics to discuss and things like that. But yeah, is there something like ultimately what you're trying to achieve with the music? Like,
yeah, I think so. Like, I mean, with the way that modern hip hop's going, or at least popular hip hop, is really dumbing down. Like, it really, sometimes I sit back and look at some of these artists that are popping or whatever, and I'm just kind of like, man, some of these guys are, because I'm associated with the music, man, I think they're making us look stupid, Like,
right.
There's a lot of really talented MCs out there that are putting down some solid content, but at the end of the day, it feels like the only stuff that's really getting promoted or that you're seeing all the time are these guys that are just is foolishness. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I don't know, man. Like, I want to try and take the music and make it, not say make it something respectable, but at least put something in it that when you listen to it, it's not, I guess, not a lot of bullshit. It's like, it's real topics, it's quality tunes, instead of just being like a lot of fluff or whatever, and then talking about a bunch of cash and stuff that only you or a small percentage of people have or can relate to. And I don't know, my buddy Nathan McIntosh, he's a stand-up comic working out of New York, put it well one time. He's like, listening to modern rap music, it's like listening to a king talk down to all of his subjects.
Right.
Like, I have all the money.
Yeah.
You will get none of it. I fuck all the bitches. You will touch none. You know what I mean? And like, when I was younger, I was like, yeah, man, that's the shit right there. But
no, man.
As I'm getting older, it's like, you look at rap music and you look at a standard song. I mean, like a lot of folk songs, pop songs, whatever, you've got like your 4-bar hook and you got your 4-bar verse. But when you got rap music, you got 16 full bars because you're going at double time.
Right.
Or on the 8th note, and if you want, go at double time. So you got a lot more room, I guess, to articulate your ideas. and articulate what you're trying to say. So for me, that's what I've always kind of been like, there's so much room in here, and it feels like every song is sounding the same, or every song is talking about the same stuff, or it's not beneficial to be listening to it. You know what I mean? Like when I was a kid listening to the music that I listened to, it probably rotted my brain, sounding like an old man now.
Right.
But looking back, and I was like, okay, that was, they were cool beats, and those were some sweet rhyme schemes or whatever, but the actual topic,
yeah, no,
you know what I mean? Like,
totally, man. And yeah, like what I'm getting from you, what you're saying is like, things need to become a little more egalitarian, or like equitable, let's say, and diverse. You know what I mean? Like, or maybe, I don't know if that's
yeah, in a way, but I think that it's more, looking for people that are actually saying something. Like Lil Pump, ain't saying anything.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Who's that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm glad you don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm too busy still going through YouTube and seeing like what's new or whatever.
Oh no, yeah.
That 6ix9ine cat, all these guys are just, I mean, when you look at who's really successful and actually saying something, the list is kind of small. And you got your Kendricks or your J. Cole.
Yeah.
I mean, Nas is still putting it down.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. But I mean, like, it's a very small group of people that are actually, even though they might still be talking about gang life or violence or selling drugs or whatever, it's more from a perspective of, this is what I lived through, this is what I know.
Yeah. And
but
I'm not
maybe don't do it
now. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like doing the OG kind of schooling people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you got these other guys. Like, I think I was talking to a buddy of mine, was saying back in the 80s, when you listen to rap music, it was all about, like, we got to rise above the man and don't do drugs.
Yeah, super political, right?
Right, exactly. And then the 90s came in, it was like, well, don't do drugs, but get that paper and sell these drugs. And if you got to,
yeah,
straighten someone out, you handle it.
Yeah.
And then you get into like the 2000s and the 2010s, now it's just like, just do the drugs.
Oh, really?
Man.
I thought, just do the drugs. Yeah, exactly.
Like, at least that's what I'm seeing.
Cloud.
I could be wrong. Like I said, there's a lot of artists and new artists out there that are really touching on some subjects. But.
Yeah, I feel. Oh, I know what I had for you. I had a really good Nathan McIntosh story because I know him from doing stand up, not well.
Okay.
But we shared. He closed Gus's one night while I was there.
Nice.
Or did he close? I don't remember if he closed. But anyway, he was like, no, he didn't close because I was on after he had to leave, and he was like, he started talking about like rapping about pizza, and because I was next, I started rapping about pizza.
Okay.
Right? And he was like, yeah, man, I love that. And he seemed like a really good guy. And
man, he's cool, man.
Super, like, and it's funny because like style wise, like me and him would almost be opposite because he, like in terms of comedy, like if I've got a big crowd, I'm talking kind of slow and riding the wave on them punchlines, but he's just nonstop fast.
Oh yeah, he's in your face about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On a smaller crowd, I'd work more that way to like try to hype them up a bit, but like a big crowd, I want to like ride that wave and just play it like real cool,
There
but
you go.
man, yeah, he's really good. So
yeah, he's got some good stuff, man. I met him back when I was 16. We both worked at A&W.
Okay.
And yeah, man, that guy just had me in stitches all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Funny cat, man.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Was there anything that you'd like to talk about that maybe I haven't thought to ask you? Something that like might what would be like some mysteries about Kyle that Kyle would be happy to reveal?
None.
No mysteries.
No, I don't really have too many, man.
No, you've and do you have a new place? Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, like I'm living once again back outside the city, chilling out. A little more slow pace now, which is kind of nice.
Sorry, folks, we're on a real slow pace here. Sorry about that, folks. Real slow pace here. I'm just gonna make sure. Oh yeah, man. Was there anything else that you did creatively besides rap? Like, do you draw or anything like that?
No, I mean, I've never really been a big drawer. See, I mean, I used to play a little bit of music, but I was never that great at it, man. I tried to play guitars, but when I was chording, my fingers would be hitting the other strings, so you'd be getting buzzes and stuff, and that sort of thing. I used to play drums back when I was a kid.
Man.
No, I know, man. It's tough. It's harder than it looks.
Yeah,
it's probably just, more put in your 10,000 hours alone practicing, but I guess I never had that kind of discipline to get better. So, but it's not over. Still could.
Yeah,
watch out for the acoustic album.
That's right. Yeah, you're going. You'll go instrumental and put out maybe like a just all pan flute.
Hey, you don't know.
No, I don't know.
You don't know, man. It could happen.
What's next? Yeah, it could be anything. Could be the new king of pop. It could be. Could be. I could be.
I don't know, man. Those are some shiny shoes to step into, man. Or some shiny socks.
Shiny socks. Do you think? And I think your perspective would be the same as mine here. Like, have you lived in other cities?
No, I lived here my whole life.
Yeah,
Halifax,
same as me. So do you have a sense of like being an artist in Halifax being different than anywhere else, or do we even really, because there's not really much basis of comparison for us, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, I could see like being an artist in a bigger city, there could be a lot. I mean, like if you go to a Toronto or a New York, there's something going on all the time. There's tons of stages to play. There's tons of comedy clubs to perform at, right? Like, we don't necessarily have that here in the city. So I think that's something that that you just have to kind of get used to or deal with.
Right. Just a limited, like,
exactly.
Yeah.
There's only so much that, like, I mean, we could only play the Seahorse so many times before you play it out.
Yeah.
Like,
are you almost wanting to, I guess, are you maybe thinking about moving away from shows and just more studio work, or?
I mean, yeah, I guess so, man. Like, I still like doing shows.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's nothing stopping us from doing a show. But right now, I think it's more just getting our tracks put together and lining them up and seeing how that goes. It's been a while since we've been on stage anyway, so it'd be nice to go back out and see if the old boy still got it. But
yeah, I need to do that as well. I've been doing this, but I haven't been on stage in some time. So I think I'm due.
Oh yeah, man.
We could do a little show together. I could MC host.
They wouldn't be ready.
No.
Yeah, but like what you were saying though about being from Halifax and being an artist.
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot of opportunities. I also just think it's kind of limited at the same time. Like there's a lot of stuff being put out, but there's only so many artists, I guess, that are getting those opportunities per se. Like, because it is like Halifax is a small pond and there's a lot of big fish. There's a lot of talented people out here.
Yeah, like per capita, right? We have a ton of artists, I'm thinking.
Oh yeah.
So it's like it's hard to make it here, and if you do, it's not like you're likely. It's not like you're internationally famous. So again, like you said earlier, I think the focus really needs to be on just doing quality work and saying important stuff and hoping, that it will fall into place.
Well, yeah, you got to try and put something out that's going to resonate with people, especially like now where we can do a whole album in house. You don't have to go and pay for studio time.
That's amazing.
You can release it yourself, mix it down, release it, put it out, and give it to the people, and see if people are really feeling that song, they're going to share it with their friends. It spreads, like, I guess, through sharing now.
Yeah. No,
I shouldn't say I don't think people are. I don't think as many people are going out and buying new music from music stores anymore. There's like the vinyl heads. They're always going to be going in and digging in crates to get that new record. But overall, I think it's more, you got to put it out and hope that it hits or goes viral or something.
Yeah, no, totally, man. And just, yeah, I think hope and faith is like the main things to that. And with that in mind, I'd like to ask you, like to close off, I think, and ask you, what do you think the meaning of life is?
The meaning of life. Wow, that's a big one. Oh, I don't know, man.
I'll tell you what it is right now. For me, it is hope and faith.
Yeah, you tell me yours and give me a minute to think of an answer.
Hope and faith, because that's kind of, we can only sort of do our best, right?
Yeah.
And so I just want to put that out there and hope that my best is good enough to resonate,
Yeah, for sure. Oh, damn. Okay. Meaning of life for me.
It's okay if you don't know yet. You're off. You know what I mean? Like,
it's just that money, son.
It's just that money. Yeah.
No, man.
Those dollar bills.
Maybe truth and honesty.
Yeah.
I think if you can, as best to your ability, you can be honest and truthful with people. I think that if that goes both ways, then we're gonna advance forward or figure things out quicker.
Yeah.
I don't know. That and mystery. There's a lot of unknown stuff, and I think that might be also the meaning of life, is trying to figure those out.
Yeah, man. I think all these things, like hope, faith, truth, honesty, and navigating the mysterious waters, to see where they might lead us, perhaps.
Yeah.
Does that sound good?
Sounds good to me, man.
Yeah.
I think so.
Well, hey, man, I'd love, thank you so much for being on here.
Thanks for having me, Josh.
Yeah, and we can leave this go for a while and just be sort of natural too. If I don't know if do you need another beer?
I got one on deck, man.
Okay, you're good.
Got the IPA on decky.
Yep, and I've just
stole that from Desus and Mero. Yo, if you don't know who those guys are, you gotta check that out.
yeah. I've just like a little old lady drank a blueberry tea. So before you guys got here,
You holding out on the blueberry tea?
Yeah, would you like a blueberry tea?
No, I'm good.
Good. Yeah. That's the real meaning, folks.
Blueberry tea.
Blueberry tea.
Blueberry's an underrated flavor, I think.
It's delicious. So I'm gonna close this off now, and like I do every time, I want you to look yourselves in the mirror, especially when you're feeling down. Give yourself that Ric Flair, woo, and tell yourself you're the greatest of all time. And the greatest of all time, it isn't about being better than people and putting people down. It's about helping people rise up so they too can be the greatest of all time. So remember that, folks. I know you can do it. Thank you. Good night.